In my arm, and it's the best thing ever. This chip is a powerhouse. It's got everything I need. A credit card, my ID, my medical info, and even my keys. And when it's time for groceries, you just tap your wrist and bam! Transaction done. It's like magic. In a medical emergency, it can save my life. Experts can easily identify me and my medical history. I feel like a sci-fi character and I'm loving it. This amazing chip is totally free. That's right, no more digging into your pockets. And the best part, the surgery is quick. They'll give you a cookie afterwards.
I don't know who needs to hear this today, but please do not implant a microchip in your arm for the small reward of a cookie. Just saying.
Chip in my arm, and it's the best thing ever.
This is how so-called white man Esau eat them through this new world order government system, this global technocratic system, right? It's going to be a one world digital currency. And they're gonna have the digital IDs on it. Everything's going to be on this. This chip is going to be made mandatory. Like some common. And how they gonna trap the people? It's all starting now. You know, they're gonna trap the people through something called. It's almost like manipulation, but it's compliance marketing, right? Not compliance, convenience marketing, excuse me. You see here on my notes, it says convenience marketing. Devices shift from cool tech. They try to promote it as if, you know, this is something that's cool, this is a new innovation. You know, this is, you know, right, the next, you know, big thing is some cool shit, you know what I'm saying? Some sci-fi shit, cool shit, whatever. Makes life easier. That's the convenience. A lot of people are looking for shortcuts because people are lazy. They you know, they can play on the people's laziness and need for instant gratification, right, and so forth. And then they're gonna go from that to it's needed for society and it's gonna be required. That's where the mandation come in at. It's gonna be made mandatory, right? And if you go back here, you see it's a lot of people that, you know, that's not with that shit, and they know that the RFID microchip is the mark of the beast. And it's still guys in these other Hebrew Israelite camps that speaking about how, you know, the mark of the beast is something else. The mark of the beast is Christianity. The mark of the beast is sleeping with white women. The mark of the beast is this. The mark of the beast is that. You know, it clearly says buying and selling, you dumb motherfuckers. That means economic control. A global economic system, you know, a global digital economic system. See, scripture, you know, speak about how the children of this world are wiser than the children of light, right? So a lot of people know that it's the chip is the mark of the beast, man. And you niggas still can't see it. IUIC, ISUPK, Wi-Fi, WFI, you know, Watchmen for Israel, you know, HOY, Sons of Thunder, all these different offshoot camps, man. ICGJC, So when this thing fully gets rolled out, a lot of people is going to be looking at their leaders sideways, man. And the elect that's predestined for preservation and salvation, they're going to acknowledge this as the mark of the beast, and they're not going to take it. But it's going to be a stumbling block for those that the Lord don't desire, those that's not of the elect. And the Lord's going to put a strong delusion. Let's grab this real quick. I was going to send them a strong delusion that they should believe a lie, right? Verse 8 speak about the wicked, which is Esau. He's going to be behind, the implementation of the mark of the beast through, the global technocracy, new world, one world government, one world economic system, everything going digital, cashless, Even him who's coming is after the working of Satan, right? With all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth that they might be saved. For this cause God shall send them a strong delusion, that they should believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but have pleasure in unrighteousness. That's right. So the Most High is going to send them a strong delusion into the heart and minds of the people, because he can, the way of man is not in himself. The Lord directs his steps, right? So the Lord's going to direct the steps of the people to comply and to get down with this, with this new system that's being rolled out, this one world system. And they're going to have all these different, what they would call so-called miracles through technology. They're going to play on the people's emotions. They're going to have Jake's favorite leaders, the entertainers. They all going to be coming out with it. The leaders of the so-called black community may have Jesse Jackson or Barack Obama to come back, and so forth and so on. And all Jake's favorite rappers, these athletes, actors, rappers, singers, they might even use AI to deceive the people as well, because AI is just getting better and better and more realistic, more and more realistic over time. So they might do the whole deep fake thing and deceive the people into thinking that this technology, this RFID microchip, or the BCI, the brain computer interface, these different neural implants, and all of the sort, NFAC chip, that this is something that is a necessity. This is something that's needed, right? And the Lord going to make a lot of people fall for it. They're going to be deceived by Esau. The scriptures speak about how, they're going to come with so much deception that if it were possible, they should deceive the elect. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 24, for there shall arise false Christs, false saviors, right? And false prophets, and they shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch, if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. See? So they're going to show great signs and wonders through this technology. And so much that if it were possible, they should deceive the very elect. But the elect, it's impossible to deceive them, right? It's impossible. But it's going to work on the ungodly. Let's see, deceivableness. Deceive. I think it's in second Thessalonians. What's coming is after the Second Thessalonians 2. I need to memorize this by heart. Second Thessalonians 2. So he's gonna come after the working of Satan, you know, with all power and signs of lying wonders. Deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish. So the ones that's predestined to die, they're going to be the ones that be deceived by this shit. They the ones that's going to have that strong delusion, right? That they should believe the lies that the government, you know, is promoting. And these different entertainers and these different leaders and, you know, everything that's on the news. So, and it's just going to be a lot of people, man. Because wide is the gate and broad is the way which leads to destruction. There be many more of them which shall perish than of them which shall be saved. Like as a wave is greater than a drop, as it says in 2nd Esdras chapter 8. So it means a lot of people is going to conform and consent to getting this microchip technology implanted inside of them. You know, but they're gonna get some pushback though. That's gonna happen. They're gonna get some pushback from even Edomites and shit. And other nations. You know, but they're gonna deceive a lot of people though. A lot of people gonna take it. A lot of people gonna be in that line to take that chip. If they're gonna smoke the people out. The order out of chaos. They're gonna collapse society and offer the solution through, through the collapse, of the rubble will arise a new global power structure, a new power system, right? A one world government. And you'll see a lot of people that was previously dependent on the government, like a lot of single mothers, a lot of black women with children. They can go take that shit. A lot of people that have, been on Section 8, received all the little goodies, from, partook in, these different government assistance programs. It's going to be easy for them to be deceived. Because they trusted in the system anyway, previously before. So it's nothing for them to return back to them. The scriptures say, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. Right? In Exodus, I want to say it's 23, thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil. Right? And in Revelation chapter 14, if you receive the mark of the beast, you're going to receive that grievous sore, and you're going to have your part in a lake which burns with fire and brimstone. You're not going to escape nuclear war. When Yahweh shall come back, he ain't going to deliver you from that from the nukes that's dropping. So we have to endure this time. Because it's going to get very hard, man. It's called the hour of temptation, as we know. Shit going to get tough. We're going to lose a lot of things. We're going to lose a lot of worldly possessions. We may end up having to lose people that we love, our immediate family. You know, a man's foe shall be there of his own household. Family gonna turn on you, everybody gonna turn on you. You know? There's gonna be times that you're gonna be without for a period. And it's all a test of your loyalty to the Lord, your fidelity, your faithfulness, right? Your patience. The trying of your faith work of patience, right? For gold is tried in the fire and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. We better go through some adversity. Being kicked out from the grid, basically, you know. A lot of your needs and wants, it's not going to be met through buying and selling anymore. The Lord is going to, let me turn this down. So the Lord is going to have to step in on our behalf. And there's so many promises written that we're going to have to trust in, you know. You're going to have to wait on the Lord, to trust in the Lord. Pray to the Lord, you know, for deliverance, mercy, and help, you know, during the time of our affliction. And He going to come through. When it seems like all hope is lost, you know, He going to come through in the nick of time. Because He promised. Isaiah 65, my servant shall eat. My servant shall drink. My servant shall rejoice. But before the deliverance, the Lord, we're going to have to be put in that situation. You know? And it's going to get tough, man. But we have to endure. Either endure to the end, the saints shall be saved. Gonna lose our jobs, cars, place to stay, you know, maybe bumping from house to house, you know, persecution, people, you know, trying to manipulate you into taking a chip. Oh, you got a family, you got mouths to feed, they depending on you, this, that, and the third, you got this going on, and I can't be taking care of you, and you got to step up and be responsible and do this and do that. Man, fuck that shit, man. We really got to be 10 toes down, like uncompromising, unyielding, unrelentless, you know what I'm saying, with our, you know, conviction. We have to be fully persuaded in our own mind that we're not going to go through with this shit. And in doing so, the Lord's going to come through for you. So we can't let the white man deceive us. We can never trust our enemy. Because he want to block our blessing. He want to block us from receiving our inheritance. Block us from receiving salvation, from receiving power, from receiving those new bodies, from receiving immortality. The crown of life. So that test is coming. It's gonna be hard, but you know, who is he that overcome the world? But he that believe that Yahweh Shai is the Son of the Most High. Your faith in Yahweh Shai is gonna help you overcome the hour temptation. So, yeah, all praise to Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Hope this video was edifying. Until next time, peace.